Hey there, thanks for taking a look at this. I bought another one of these Case Tony Bose SHOT Show knives. This is the 2017 issue, the Tribal Lock. It's modeled after Tony Bose's custom Zulu spear. While that was a slip joint, Case made this one a lockback knife. So my thought with these has been, well, maybe Case will be a little more careful with their quality control on knives they actually put Tony Bose's signature on. And so far, for the two that I've bought, that's working out for me. They've been pretty nice knives. They just come in Case's regular packaging. Here's the box on this one, and the particulars are model number TB for Tony Bose, 712010L for lock, I suppose, SS for stainless steel. This does come in Case's True Sharp surgical steel, which I understand is 420 high carbon. It's the same steel that Buck Knives uses, and I've read that if it's heat treated properly, which I'm sure it is, it's akin to, say, VG10 in properties. So I think it's a time-tested steel and a little underrated, really. So here's the model Tribal Lock. It is in ebony, and here's your date. Again, this is the 2017 issue. Now, most of these come with a little certificate of authenticity in a plastic sleeve. I don't really care about that so much. You know, it does have some interesting information here about Tony Bose and the case and the knife. But it is something important, I think, to hold on to. If I sell the knife in the future, the buyer may want that. By the way, I always keep the boxes, too, for knives that I'm just going to display or handle. If I want to sell them in the future and they're in a new state, it's nice to be able to include the original packaging. So this knife comes with ebony covers and a propeller shield, like a lot of the SHOT Show knives do. And I think that's one thing that appeals to me about them, is that this gives them a very retro vintage look. You know, I like vintage knives. And when you see old knives, if they're not in bone or stag, they're going to be in wood. And if they're in wood, they're usually in ebony. I mean, they might be cocobolo or rosewood or something, but you often see them with that old dark ebony wood. And it was a fantastic wood to make knife handles out of. It's super hard. And also the propeller shield just being plain like that. You know, vintage knives would have badge shields, cloud shields, propeller shields, all these different shields, but they were always just plain. You know, Case usually stamps their name or XX or something in here. So it is a little departure for Case just to leave that smooth plain there. And Case doesn't use ebony very often either, so this is just a little different. I got a couple of nice pieces of ebony on this, I think. You can see here on the mark side, the grain structure is a little more open. I don't mind that. It, again, just kind of gives it that old-fashioned look. On the back here, it's a little more closed, a little tighter, but they're both problem-free pieces. They're nice and dark, and they're pretty consistent. Now, the build on this knife, I would say, is good. The blade centering is about the only thing that I would ding it for. It rides a little bit to the left there. You can kind of play around with it and make it look centered, but when you close it, it seems to drift back over, but it doesn't come close to rubbing, so I really don't have any problem with that. The rest of it is very nice. You can see it's really pretty tight here across the back. It's not airtight, but that's hard to do, I think, with a lockback knife. You've got to be able to let that spring bar move a little bit. It is nice and flush here in the closed position. Spring bar is pretty flush. It sticks up just a hair. Really nothing to, hardly worth mentioning. You have nickel silver bolsters, or at least in the front, and it's tapered, and they did a good job with that. That's a hand operation, I'm pretty sure, and it is pretty symmetrical. Cap in the back. The bolsters just fit up really nicely and tight to the covers, and the transitions are smooth between the covers and the bolsters. The pins are smooth, they're flush, the shield is flush, set in there straight. Yeah, I'm just okay with the quality of the build. It's pretty nice. It's nice for the money. Let me just say that I did buy this from DLT Trading. They are still available. It was, I think, $72 or $73. I got free shipping because I got some other things, got it up over their threshold for free shipping. But that's not any more than you would pay for any other case tribal lock, even discounted. So I think I got kind of an extraordinary knife for an ordinary price. Let's take a look at the blade. It's the kind of the Zulu spear blade. It's a drop, kind of a swept down drop point. I'm sorry, spear. Kind of a swept down spear. And you can see it's swedged pretty much the entire length of the spine of the blade to the tip there. Gives it a neat shape. It does have Tony Bose's signature on it. That's really just the other special feature about the knife. I don't mind that at all. I don't think it's obtrusive. It's well done, and he's got a cool looking signature. Now the blades are highly polished. You're going to be wiping these down a lot. You can see my thumb there. It's just like a mirror. So they do show every little smudge or fingerprint. There I am. That's good for you guys. It's a pants-on day. The blade's about 3 inches long. The knife in the closed position is 4 1/8 inches. I think it's a really great size for the hand. It's a little big for my pocket, but it's pretty flat. So, you can pocket carry it if you'd like. Here's the tang stamp. It's just Case's standard stuff for the 2010 decade or 2000 teens. It's Case XX with a long tail C over USA. There's the model number again, and SS for stainless steel. And then you have Case's arrangement of X's and dots and things to tell you what year knife it is. And this again is the 2017. Now this is nice and flush here in the open position. Also want to show that they did a really good job mating up the blade to the back spring. I got a pretty good edge on the knife. Case knives tend to come pretty toothy, and this one's no exception. I think it's just the grit they use on their sharpening belt. But this one seems pretty well done. It's pretty even from side to side, and they did a pretty good job. Whoever did it had a pretty good hand. That is another hand operation at Case. I think the thing that really sets this knife apart, though, is just the action. I got lucky. I got a good smooth one. I know some people have had some problems with some of the action on these Case tribal locks, but this one just kind of falls to that position. It's really easy release. There's not really a half stop, just kind of a dead spot there where that blade starts to engage the spring, so it'll snap shut. And it does have good closing retention. The nail nick here, it's helpful, but you don't really need it. You can pinch that blade. It just snicks right open. Once it's open, it's just rock solid. There's absolutely no play in this blade, up or down, right or left. It feels like a little fixed blade knife almost when it's in the lock position. And again, to close it, it's really just a really easy, smooth operation. I want to show you down inside because I think that's nice too. I just want to show you that they've done a really good job machining and polishing that spring inside and the liners. It's very clean and nice. That's something you often don't see in a cheaper knife. Alright, so let me finish up by comparing this knife to a few others that I have with ebony covers, so we can just kind of compare that ebony from knife to knife. But before we do that, just a quick word from our sponsor.
Yes, Toddy, the chocolate malt in a can.
It's so good hot. It's so good cold.
It hits the spot with young and old.
Yes, toddy pleases everybody. Delicious chocolate malted toddy, made with rich, real milk, not powdered milk.
So come and get it, everybody. It's time to drink your chocolate toddy.
Okay, well, I got to pay the bill somehow. Man, I got production costs. And YouTube doesn't pay me squat. Alright, so let me compare this first to the 2012 Tony Bose SHOT Show knife, the Sow Belly Stockman. It's the other one that I have, and you can see it has a much tighter grain on the ebony. But I don't mind this again, it gives it an old-fashioned look. But they're both very nice. This is just a very nice knife, I think. And then next up, I've got a Friedrich Hartkopf. This is a German knife, and it's probably my best piece of ebony. It's just dark as night, really tight grain structure. They've done a great job sanding and polishing it. It almost looks like a piece of plastic or something. Friedrich Hartkopf. And then finally, the only other knife I have with ebony covers is this Boker Plus Excalibur 2. This is the smaller of the two Excaliburs. And it's a little more brown, I think. You know, ebony can come in a variety of shades. It can come brownish or reddish, but most people want it really black. And this one is a really nice piece of wood, though. It's a really tight grain, and it almost just kind of has a waxy appearance or something on its own. That wood just seems like it's full of oils or something. These are kind of hard to find now. This is the model without the nail nick because it's a front flipper. And Boker quit making them that way, I guess for knife laws in Germany or whatever. So they all now have a nail nick and are a two-hand operation. Okay, so that's just been a look at the 2017 Case Tony Bose SHOT Show knife. Hey guys, if I don't get a chance to make another video before Christmas, Merry Christmas to everybody. If you celebrate something else, happy holidays to you. Just hope everybody stays safe and healthy. Be happy, and Merry Christmas.